Ladies and gentlemen, the Madness Entertainment Group presents Put the Comic Artist Hour with Les Garner.
What up?
Hey, yo. We are back. Back for another week.
Yeah.
Here doing the thing. And
I have a question. That intro,
okay.
what t-shirt are you wearing?
It's a Black Label Society, thank you.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that is a staple of my wardrobe is my Black Label shirts. So that's a common thing for me.
Do you want to spend the hour drawn talking about Back to the Beginning?
I haven't actually watched any of it.
Although God bless.
I've seen boatloads of it from the I'm just waiting to where I can like sit and like take it all in or take a lot of it in like one big swoop.
Dude.
I'm kind of letting it build up.
It was amazing.
But I'm sure that I'm going to be like a blubbering mess through about half of it.
Yeah, it was definitely emotional, but it was amazing.
Ozzy and Sabbath and Zach and all of that. So, yeah, I've seen enough clips of it right now that I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna get the feels on this one. So
yeah,
but I've actually been kind of out of circulation for the last few days because of started out just because of 4th of July holiday, but then I ended up in the hospital yesterday or day before yesterday. So I'm kind of recovering a little bit because over the weekend I got stupid and let myself get dehydrated. And it ended up at one point I thought I was having a blood clot issue, which, with my stroke history now, if there's even the slightest scare of some crap like that, I have to take it extremely seriously and get to the doctor as quick as possible. So I ended up in the hospital Sunday. I was in the ER and they kept me there for a few hours to keep an eye on me and pump me full of fluids and stuff. And so, yep. Then had spent about half the day yesterday with doctor related stuff and talking about things and getting sorted. So, but all is good actually. So, I learned some things out of it and got some information out of it that, like, apparently I'm doing ridiculously well on a lot of levels, but I had allowed myself to get dehydrated, which caused my blood pressure to skyrocket, and that's no bueno. So, I have to really pay attention to that. And then, larger conversation came out of it with my doctor talking about, my overall progress and recovery and how I go about with like workouts and things like that. Because for those who don't know, like even on the other side of the stroke, I work out like a beast pretty much every day. So, I mean, post stroke, obviously I'm not going to lift and do as much as I used to because I'm trying to recover the use of one arm, but I've got that arm back to where last week I was doing, at one point last week, I got a 12 rep set of 205 pound bench press. So, for a stroke survivor, that's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm extremely proud of it. I've worked my ass off for that stuff. But I was just talking with the doc a little bit about it, and spending some time with some research and learning some things, and so that I can go into it. Obviously things are not the same on the other side of the stroke, and there are things I need to be concerned about and pay attention to. That and there's some of those things that I was actually kind of unaware of. So it's just figuring out where I'm at and moderating what I do so that I can continue to work out and do it, a little, I don't even want to say smarter, because my workouts were pretty damn smart to begin with. But it's like there was just things that I wasn't quite aware of with my current situation that I have to be aware of, and we're going to see how that works out. So, I've got a plan worked out for, like, I'm going to be seeing a nutritionist soon to look at a number of things, because I should be dropping weight and I'm not. Like, when I look at, I actually keep track of like how many calories my workouts should burn. Like, I can tell you how many calories I should be burning. I can tell you, like I have an unbroken record right now for the last 150 some days, 156 days, I believe, of like everything I eat, all of the exercise. Like it's crazy. The doctor about dropped a loaf when I pulled out my iPad, and I was like, "Here, doc, here's my records." And he was like, "Holy crap." He's like, "Nobody keeps this." I was like, "Well, I'm special. There you go. Let's talk." And that's when he was like, "Okay, we're going to hook you up with a nutritionist, because, apparently I keep the kind of records that you keep if you're a professional athlete," which is fine. That's good, because I am just, overachiever like that. But I'm determined to figure out why my body isn't letting me peel off the weight that was gained during the time that I couldn't do cardio. Because if I can get that weight off, I realistically need to lose 50 pounds. So if I can get that 50 pounds off, then that will reduce the load on my cardiovascular system, and will make it easier to manage my my blood pressure and medications and all that. And the doc flat out said, he's like, we definitely can look at this. He's like, I don't think he realized how serious and disciplined I actually am about things, because they're just not used to that. And then when he saw that, he's like, "Yeah, we're going to hook you up with a nutritionist." He's like, "Given the way that you work at this, I think we could actually figure this out and get you in a regimen that's going to get you off some of the medications and move this stuff forward." So that was good news. It just sucks that sometimes it takes a bad situation for me to, for them to finally pay enough attention to go, "Oh crap, this guy will actually do the work." Like, yeah. So that's kind of what my last few days have been spent with. In the meantime, scrolling my phone while I'm waiting on all these appointments and crap, and seeing some stuff here and there about, back to the beginning and all the cool stuff going on with that. So, yeah, it's been.
My favorite clip was his little baby grandpa seeing him on TV and going, "Papa."
Oh, wow.
"Papa." Like, this is probably the first time she ever saw him perform, right? Never seen him do that, right? She just little, right? So. Wow. I just like, man, that one brought it out.
Yeah, it's just grandpa to that kid.
Yeah, finding out your grandpa is Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, that's like finding out your grandpa's Santa Claus. I mean, seriously, be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing once a year, Gramps?" "Oh, nothing, man, nothing. I just got a job I can do, And then you find out it's friggin' Santa Claus. It's like, wait a minute, you're that guy. Yeah. Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
it's a neat thing, you know. Yeah. It's it's kind of a strange thing. I mean, because I was very active in music through the 90s, and it's something that I miss desperately. You know, it's really it's kind of the number one reason for the amount of work I've put in trying to come back from the stroke is that right now is the longest I've gone without being able to meaningfully play guitar since I was probably 6 years old.
Right.
And that is just, it's infuriating. I mean, it's not just depressing. It literally makes me angry as hell when I sit and think about it. And I'm like, me not having a guitar in my hand, like, I know the neck of a guitar better than I know my own junk. Okay. So, and that's not even hyperbole. I'm like, I have, you know, I have literally spent more time in my life with a guitar in my hand probably than anything else. I mean, even art, even drawing. I've realistically spent more time practicing guitar than I have art. So it's just it's a strange feeling to not be able to just sit down and pick up a guitar and go at it. And it's not right. It just is not right. You know, I will not be satisfied to live this way. And that's not like a suicide statement. That's I will. I know the caliber to which I was able to play before, which I'm not going to brag about that and all that kind of stuff, but I know what I was capable of, and I think it was pretty damn cool. You know, I was very, very happy with it and always growing with it, and I will not be satisfied. So it's like, I did the work to get there once in my life, spent many years of practice and toil on that. And it's like, okay, so we got to do that again. Well, this time I know what to do, how to do it, and how to work it. So, I just have to get that hand to work so I can do it again. I'm very obsessed with that. So in the meantime, since this is podcast about art, I just finished up issue number 2 of the Oz series that I'm on, called The Nightmare in Emerald. And that I'm very happy to have gotten issue number 2 of that done. So I figured, kind of in honor of that, I'd bust out a quick sketch in here of my my take on the lion. And I had this idea for a shot of the lion and the witch together. So we're gonna think about that a little bit here and explore some avenues for that. So I've got a few details to button up about it that'll probably be sorted out today, but I'm tentatively going to be the first week in August. I'll be appearing at CreepyCon in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's a horror convention that I'm super excited to be a part of, and I've also been invited to do a panel there. So I'm going to be doing a panel on doing horror comics. I'm batting around titles for it and what all it's actually going to present about, but I can tell you the gist of it is going to be, horror in comics, why comics are such a great avenue for telling scary stories, and probably talk about, production and different aspects of it. And then looking at opening the floor up to Q&A about just Q&A about that entire subject. So that's kind of some of what's up right now. What it being up to, what I'm going to be up to.
Nice.
Yeah, just picked up a new client yesterday too that closed on the first deal where I'll be doing pencils on a project coming up with and normally I don't do just pencils. Normally I'm called to do pencils and inks, but on this I'm going to be doing pencils with inks being done by my buddy Peter Palmiotti. So I'm excited about that. Pete and we've been friends for a very long time, and but we've never worked together. So we're finally getting to get that out of the way and do a project together. So I'm excited by that. Let's see, what else is going on? Lord, I'm so busy. It's just stupid. We've got, I am in the early stages of working on that book for Charles called Kremen. So I've got a one-shot story of Kremen that I've been analyzing the script to and kind of getting my head together on that. So hoping we have that book all done up here probably within the next month. Man, it's crazy just how busy things have gotten. It's good. So that's kind of the general update. Yep. Kind of the general update on things around here, man. Let's see. I'm in here doing my little scribble method. It's so weird to people sometimes when they see that done, where I'll just start kind of scribbling. And I sort of scribble to see a volume appear on the page. And then out of that volume, I start to like harden up things and like stuff that it's kind of like it goes from blank to me being able to see something kind of sort of there. And then it starts to inform itself. I wish I had a more, I guess, accurate way of describing what's going on. But so let's see here now. Need to.
Who invited this guy?
Boom.
Yeah. I found a secret code decided to hack.
Oh, it's Chuckles.
Hey, is that Beauty and the Beast?
Close. It's the lion from Oz, from the Nightmare on Emerald, and the witch.
Wow.
So I was just thought it'd be a fun thing for me to pop something off from.
Cool. Meanwhile, I'm working on a t-shirt design for a client.
Fun. Oh crap! That reminds me, I've got t-shirt designs I need to knock out for some Oz related stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. It just reminded me of that. Yeah, it's not something that'll take me very long.
Yeah.
Let's see here now. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So, how you doing, Pops?
It's not just one.
Oh, I'm just, having conversations with people like I have been all morning while I was live.
Really?
Oh, yeah, man. There's been people in my inbox since I started the game stream at 10 o'clock.
Really?
And been people in my inbox the whole time, whether I've been live or even in between that show and this show. It's like my inbox been blowing up. And it's like, man, I hate to leave people hanging when they ask a question or something, but at the same time, it's like, please look and see if I'm live before you start throwing questions at me in my inbox. I mean, please just check first.
That's a cool thing.
That's fun.
It can be distracting. It can distract me out of the show. You know,
The
I'm
coolest
just
shit
having
in the
more or
world.
less
Oh,
saying because people are typing at me and I'm typing back at them, and I'm like,
Oh.
"What'd you say, Liz?"
You know, if you keep doing that, you might end up getting typecast.
I have a cast on my type.
There's the first one of the day.
Woo-hoo.
Cast on my type.
Oh, yeah. And now, if there's somebody you don't like, you could just say, you're not my type.
See, and they can wear the cast
Yes.
on their base.
Mm.
Oh, my God, that's funny.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to the last week, Mr. Les?
He's been sick.
Oh, you just missed it. Yeah, I was sick. I was
Mentally.
in the hospital the other day.
Oh, my God.
Uh,
What happened? I hope
Yeah.
you're not hurt or anything.
I was just talking about it a minute ago, actually, before you come on.
Oh, okay. Then I won't ask.
I thought I was experiencing like a blood clot
Ugh.
in my leg, which is very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
And it turned out that it was just dehydration,
Wow.
and like very dehydrated.
Good boy.
So
You need to drink more water. Or electrolytes.
well, actually, my water intake is great, but so it's part of the thing. So like when you have something happen like I did with stroke, it's cardio related. They're always like, no more salt. Salt is bad. No salt. You can't have salt. Salt is evil. No salt. Well, I'm like, okay, I get it. So like looking back through my records, even the doctor was like, yeah, that's actually not what we mean. That's like virtually no salt in your diet at all, which is weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you guys scream about no salt. He's like, yeah, but we don't expect you to go that far.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, why don't you say what you mean, not what you think is gonna work with, and basically what it comes down to, and this I'm finding, because I've never had this much interaction with medical stuff before, right? I'm finding that a lot of what they say is couched in, well, this is what we think the average numbnut's gonna do. So we'll tell you don't have any salt because we think that's probably going to get you to knock off maybe 5% of your salt. They don't expect that you actually take it seriously and go, zip, here's none. And they're like, yeah, you need to get some exercise. Oh, when they say exercise, they're like, yeah, go for a walk. They're like, yeah, we want you to go for a walk. That's their. It's like when a doctor tells me, you need to get plenty of exercise, and I'm like, yeah, I've gotten a post-stroke arm back to bench pressing over 200 pounds, and I'm doing 2 miles of literally covering 2 miles of cardio in under 15 minutes.
Oh, that's impressive.
And they're like, this is not, they're like, yeah, this is different. This is not what we're used to. So some of the things that they say have to be altered somewhat because of, it's like because of my approach to things, and they're not used to that. And conversely, by me doing exactly what they say, it's like, well, exactly what they say actually might not work or might yield some negative results if you take it as far as I tend to take things.
Yeah.
So now that I have a doctor who actually listens to me about that, and like my old doctor wouldn't even look at my personal records because I
What
could
an
see
idiot.
rolling his eyes about, yeah, whatever. Yeah, well, I get it though. I get it because most people are going to, if somebody comes in and like, hey doc, I've been keeping a log of my food and all that. What they're expecting is a little handwritten log or maybe a few notes on something at best. And when I show up and I'm like, yeah, doc, here's the last 156 days of my food intake down to the calorie. These are my averages for the week. This is the trend line on all this. And the doctor's like, whoa, what is that? And I'm like, I take this seriously. And they're just like,
you know you're a closet autistic,
and
which is awesome.
Probably. My kids used to tell me they thought I was on the spectrum.
Oh boy. Maybe that's why we get along so well.
I just probably because we're both retarded. Well,
it's like I'm comedy or tragedy.
Yeah. Birds of a feather tarred together.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember years ago when I was living with my father, and I'd have the guys over for D&D. He would just pop into the room and go, "You guys are nerdings, nerds of a feather, nerd together," and he'd just go out. And it's like, what the hell? My friends were like terrified of my dad. Mm. Go on, I interrupted.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, but I'm very glad that that I changed doctors and changed facilities, and the doctor that I have now is a younger doctor. I don't think he's been at it long enough to be jaded, which I appreciate. And yeah, he actually listens to me.
Oh,
so that's nice. It's nice to have it. Like most doctors from friends that I talk to who are in medicine, most of them, when they have a patient who comes in saying, "Hey doc, I read about this," or "Here's this information I stumbled onto," like it irritates them. A lot of doctors are irritated by that. They have this attitude. They're like, "Look, I'm the doctor. You're the patient. Just shut up and do what I tell you."
Well, it's called
so having a doctor. Yeah. Having a doctor now who actually listens to my input and doesn't think I'm stupid for looking into things is really nice.
Well, Max had a stroke not that long ago and lost his left arm, right? They told him this morning that it's permanent. I think you have a different view on that, don't you?
Yeah, I have points to make about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's only as permanent as you're willing to let it be. Now, it can take a hell of a long time to get it back. I mean, I still haven't fully gotten mine back, but it's
a lot of work.
And it's going to be a hell of a lot of work. So, I'm not I don't try to like shit on fellow stroke survivors, but I will say, if you don't have if you ain't got the stones to do the work, then yeah, it's permanent.
Yeah.
If you're willing to accept it, then it's permanent. I recently went off a little bit on some folks in the stroke survivor community about this idea of acceptance. Yeah. And they're like, well, the first step to recovery is just, you have to accept what's happened. Bullshit. Bullshit. BULL to the SHIT. Full on bullshit. No, No, absolutely not. And my retort to them was, well, I disagree, and here's my take.
Yeah.
Acceptance
is death.
Acceptance to me sounds a whole lot like settling. Yeah. Sounds a whole lot like saying, well, this is my new normal. Okay, I'll just learn how to survive with this and be okay with it. That's what it sounds like, which I'm like, bullshit. No. My attitude about it is like, when my arm wasn't able to move at all, it's like, well, it's still attached. So it's still attached, and I've got X amount of unused brain material that hopefully can be roped into the process and start to do a job. And the job it's going to do is to reconnect to that, and I'm just going to have to build new wiring. And that's that. So I'm firmly of the opinion that, you don't look, the only condition that I am willing to accept as permanent, and for my own personal religious reasons, I would say even that it has caveats, is death. Okay. I just, nope. Won't buy it. Don't accept it. Not going to do it.
How weird would it be is if you're actually dead now and your will is so strong it just keeps your body moving? Like you resurrected?
It wouldn't surprise me. I have stories I've thought about along those lines, is like writing a story about somebody who is still ambling about, but then figures out, like one day they're like, wait a minute, you mean I'm actually dead? You mean my body is just dead, but somehow my will is strong enough to keep it going? That's actually a fun idea.
Yeah.
And
it was like,
it's a really interesting idea.
Yeah. Well, I heard a podcast.
There's a lot of strange thoughts I've had.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're a strange guy, so of course you're going to have strange thoughts.
A lot of strange thoughts I've had in regards to that kind of stuff. Let's see. Yeah. But right now I'm drawing witch boobies.
Yes. Oh, is that the witch?
Yeah.
It's the witch in the tower.
I did this painting of her. Yeah, the lion is not so cowardly in this. He's kind of baller.
He needs to pick that up then.
He's not like
he's letting her get all up in there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, she's getting all up in his business here.
Good boy. She wants to see what type of beast he really is. It's like, you're not the only beast with us. Put your real beast between us.
Charles, jeez.
What?
Man, just goes there. He don't even care.
I was just like, she's just asking him, is it Barb?
Whoa.
It's hard to be me sometimes, I'll tell you that.
Right. It's like, hello.
I mean, it's actually terrible, and I'm probably gonna, I don't know, it's probably inching close to getting the furries coming out for me again.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
I'm just going to shut up.
Next time you go to a convention, you literally have a line of furries, and there's like 1,000 of them all just waiting for your signatures.
If furries pay my bills, which they have before, then
you're like the furry.
I've done so much stuff with. I've done so much stuff with were creatures in various areas besides comics that, I got introduced to the furries a long time ago. Long. We're talking a very long time ago. And I was like, okay, different strokes, different folks. You do your thing. You want to have some funky fantasies about these weird creatures that I come up with, and of course, this is my favorite way of saying it to the furries is, whatever floats your goat.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
I got something to show you guys.
What?
I got something to show you. It's a short clip from my last Comic-Con, and it involves a furry. It actually involves the only furry that I saw the whole day.
You didn't know you had those secrets.
I hope it doesn't involve your goat.
Yeah,
as long as it doesn't involve your goat. Oh my
God!
I have to show this to you because it's freaking hilarious.
Is his goat hairy less? Is that what's happening?
Oh Lord!
Hey, yo, Hall of Heroes! You know why we're here. Hey, yo, Hall of Heroes! You know why we're here. We're here to talk to cool people. Dark Comics. Tell everybody who you are and what you do, my friend.
I'm David of Dark Comics. Mark is my partner behind us. We're from Chicago, or Hoffman Estates, Illinois. And we specialize in comics to help you fill the holes in your collection. We have a huge inventory of $1 books, lots of books, $2 and up. And we are, more importantly, the coolest people you're ever going to meet here selling comic books. And Pops is my new friend, and the Doctor is my other new friend over here. Let's get the Doctor in here.
You gave him a new nickname, yo.
You
gave him a new nickname, too.
Yeah, because he's like Dr. Demento. So we love it here. Our first time at Hall of Heroes, first time at Elkhart. We love it. You guys are fantastic, very welcoming, and we love being here.
We love to meet you guys. We love comic books. Y'all know we love comic books. This is why we're here. Watch out for the War Machine. He's coming. Hold up, furry. We got you.
Hit us up on Facebook.
There you go. Hey, come on down here. Get down here today. Hold on, furry. He was walking like he was going to walk right between the camera and us.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hold on, furry. Oh. And then I told dude, pan the camera that way so we could see his reaction. But we all cracked up and we was laughing about that shit the rest of the day.
So mean.
Hey, we can't have them breaking the scene. We're trying to do an interview over here. Hold on, furry. Hold up.
Yeah, hold up.
I mean, what am I going to call him?
Hold up, furry pants.
What am I going to call him?
He was a kitty cat furry.
Was that a cat? I thought it was Pepe Le Pew.
Oh my God. No, it was a cat.
I bet it's Pepe Le Pew inside that mask.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It takes a certain kind of person to be able to walk around in a fucking suit like that all day.
You know, years ago I was at a convention, with a table, and it turned out it was a furry convention. I didn't know. It was called DuckCon. And I remember this one woman just was like, "You're not wearing any costumes?" I said, "No, not into it." Oh my God, come to my room. And it ended up being a very delightful time hanging out.
Oh, I bet. Charles getting.
Did you play Duck Duck Goose?
Well, I didn't have a beard back then.
Oh shit! Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm just, how there are times when it's like there's jokes that just jump into your mind and it's like, oh, here's a good one, and you got to drop it. But then there's times when it's like, what's the term they use? It's a target rich environment.
Yes.
Like, wow, I don't know where to shoot first. It's such a target rich environment. Oh God. God. I swear. That's good stuff. Yep.
It just is.
It's like it's just is what it is, baby.
Yeah, and it was a real woman too. That's the best part.
Oh God. Oh my Lord. I can't. I'm beside myself right now. This is just
What?
Oh crap. Oh,
Suck in the duck. I get it.
Laughter is.
I get it.
Laughter is good for your blood pressure, so I'm happy about this.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. I just the thoughts the thoughts are just terrible. They're all terrible.
Why?
God. We love you, Charles. We love you.
Yay.
Charles. That's just Oh my God. Oh shit. So anyway, I'm just drawing this witch. I'm just gonna go back to drawing this witch. Yeah.
Now you know what's more powerful than a witch? A bat. So could you draw a bat?
I'm figuring this fairy's probably introduced you to a this or that.
Oh yeah.
Oh crap. So terrible.
He wants you to draw that man?
That man.
Yeah, that man.
All right. Serious face. I'm drawing some leather. We gotta bring it in here and be serious for a minute because I'm drawing leather.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Could you imagine you end up going to Mr. Leather Convention in Chicago?
Well, first off, it's in Chicago, so no. Second off, there's a time and a place for everything, and it was called the 90s. So,
and at no time was it ever called Chicago.
What?
No.
Oh, this other podcast, I'm trying to get the name of it. They did a initial review of the Crummin RPG, and it was awesome. And then the next they're going to play test one of my modules.
Yeah, I told you whenever you're ready to do that, I'm down.
Are the furries going to? Are the furries going to play test one of your modules, Charles?
I don't know, but
going to test that module real good.
The one guy took whale biting, so he could bite through a whale. He decided
I can't imagine this scenario wherein which I would need to bite through.
The furry's going to be biting your whale, Charles.
What? Oh no!
Damn it, man! This is supposed to be a family show.
It is a family show. I saw Megan too.
Not,
and it's not a horror. Good? I saw Megan too.
Yeah.
And it was dumb.
Was it any good?
No. I mean, the first one was fun.
Not surprising.
I mean, instead of her being this psycho killer girl boss, they terminated her too. So she's kind of a goodish guy, but not. And then I saw articles where she's like celebrating the alphabet community, and it's like, what? She's a robot. What the hell? And there's actually articles on how she's a Glee icon. And it's like, no. So they geared the movie towards them. And the joke that I had in the back of my mind is they never pay for stuff. They don't have the money.
Okay, so there is something, guys, that I promised somebody that I would do today during this show, because one of the campaigns that Les has art on ends in 18 hours.
Wait, what? He has a Kickstarter going on right now?
One that his art is on, yes.
Oh,
Angel Hunter.
I have
Angel
no
Hunter.
idea.
Angel Hunter ends in 18 hours.
Oh crap! I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why we're bringing it up, baby, because that's my job.
Are you going to show it?
Yes, I am. I'm going to share it.
I have been so out of it. I had no idea.
See, this is what I do. People, we promote our friends. We promote what they do.
Oh,
pretty simple.
Which one is this?
This is Rich Davis.
Oh yeah.
And of course, you can see the art. You can see the art. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Wait a second. Is that Jiggle Cam up earlier?
That's my stuff.
Let's get down here with the page.
Is that what?
See. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So I think this has two different artists on it, right, Les?
I thought
or is it all you? Is it two different artists, or is it all you?
It's all me.
Okay.
It's all me. There's a couple of different folks doing some covers for it.
All right. But yeah, another one of the amazing things that Les can do is draw something that looks manga. Look at that.
Manga.
So manga.
Now, there was something I wanted everybody to understand about this campaign. Hold up. Check this out, guys. It's at 4,400, so stretch goal-wise, number 1 and 2 are already done. Now, number 1 is the Rich Davis Digital Library, which is 6 issues of this, 6 issues of this, 5 of this, and just a crap load of PDFs, right? The second one that unloaded, or that unlocked, is a physical first printing of all of those books right there. Physical first print of Cult of Dracula, Rise of Dracula, Reign of Dracula, Prometheus in Chains, and Embalming Day. That's 5 number 1 floppies, as well as the 96 pages or whatever you're getting with this, unless it goes over $5,000, and then Les has to draw even more pages. But I think for $25, guys, you're getting the 96 page graphic novel, as well as 5 number 1 first print floppies from Rich's collection.
Wow,
that's fucking deal, guys. That's a smoking freaking deal.
Is.
So, look, if you like Dracula stories and stuff like that, Les will tell you, Rich is good at writing them, and we already know Les is good at drawing.
So, Les, what did you like about the story?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, doing it manga style.
Doing something in a manga style was actually really weird for me. And when we first started talking about the project, I tried every way in the world to talk him out of that.
Oh my God.
I really did.
And
but
did you succeed?
There are no. I almost didn't do it.
Really?
I almost didn't do the book. Yeah. Because I really wasn't interested in doing the manga thing. But I agreed and got into it, and it took me a hot minute to get my head around it, which really was a matter of me embracing some cartoony type stuff that I used to do. I like a lot of the artwork that I did back when I first got into comics, first was doing comics in the 90s. A lot of it I would characterize as far cartoonier than what I do now.
Yeah.
And it was once I realized how much about manga was actually really just, you know, a lot of old school cartooning and old school cartooning tricks. It started to make more sense to me. And that opened it up to where it wasn't entirely dreadful to be doing it. You know, there are obviously aesthetics that are part of the manga feel. And that was a little thing to get my head around. But again, as I'm exploring it, I'm like, well, wait a minute. This is actually really similar to things that I love in Michael Golden and old Todd McFarlane stuff. So it really became a way of, it became kind of an artistic intellectual exercise of how do I look at all of these influences of mine through this much more Asian mangaka influenced lens.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, that led me to going back and rereading Berserk, and Berserk's kind of my one big manga that I like. So, you know, I was rereading Berserk and then kind of going back. And then also going back to revisiting like some of the stuff that I love from a long time ago. When I was a teenager, I had a Japanese friend who used to, long before it was ever a thing, she would have her family send over, you know, collections from Kodansha.
Wow.
And so, you know, and back then, you know, especially being a kid in rural Eastern Kentucky, that was about as exotic as it gets. You couldn't get more. You couldn't get more than that. So that was kind of neat, and this sort of took me back to that. So, you know, it turned out to be something fun that I won't rule out doing it again at some point. So, I mean, because there's, you know, hopefully it does well enough that, you know, after the Kickstarter that we end up going into Angel Hunter Volume 2 and some other stuff with it. So we'll see. You know, it should be interesting. I got to kill that whole face. Something is just completely wrong on that.
Well, you know, if it goes over $5,000, you got to draw 10 more pages. Right.
Well, those 10 pages are already drawn.
Okay. It says stretch goal. Next stretch goal is 10 more pages.
Yeah, I believe those 10 pages are already done. So, well, I mean, I know that. I know how many I did. So, I really didn't get too involved in breaking things up and figuring things how things were going to go for the Kickstarter. I was very happy to not be involved with that. I actually don't like doing that part of Kickstarters. I really don't.
I don't think anybody does.
That's getting into like marketing.
I don't think
that's getting into the marketing related stuff that drives me nuts. Yeah, it's just like, well, most of the time my stuff that I work on is pretty much done by the time a Kickstarter is going to roll around. And when I get a project done, I don't like to have to think about it again. So I'm kind of peculiar like that. Like I'm not. Once it's done, I like to forget about it.
I'll bet you'd be glad to forget about mine.
Like, dude, I'm always glad to forget about a project once it's done.
Yeah. What was your favorite project to forget about that you're like, oh my God, thank God?
Oh Lord, pretty much all of them.
Okay.
No, it's kind of like this. Oh yeah, like I think when I did Apocalypse Girl, dude, when that was done, I was so happy to be done. Like, you have no idea how happy I was to be done with that book. That thing was, it took forever. It was just, and then all the different jobs that I did on it, Apocalypse Girl was hard.
Yeah.
Very hard. So, you know, that was a real thing. Focus on this guy for a little bit and give my brain a rest on her. Yeah, Apocalypse Girl was a hard book to do on a lot of levels. It was a hard book to write. It was a hard book to draw. I mean, if you go back and you look at the artwork in it, the amount of detail that I put into that is stupid. It's just it's like an autistic level of detail in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that was one that I was very glad to get it done. And, you know, coming up, I'll be very glad when I get volume 2 done. So I still have 2 more volumes of that to do. So there's, you know, volumes 2 and 3 of Apocalypse Girl need to get finished. So that's 300 pages of artwork right there to be done, and story and everything else. So
that's impressive.
And right now, when I think about the list of things that I have to work on, I'm literally on the hook right now for over 300 pages of artwork, you know, to various clients and partners and whatnot. So yeah, there comes a point when you get enough work to make it, you know, your viable full-time life, that I think there just comes a point where you're like, okay, I'm getting this done. I don't want to say that it takes the joy out of it, because it doesn't. I still enjoy it. I still love, you know, I love what I do every day. I'm very thankful for that. But it, in a way, the limitation to the joy on it is the necessity of getting it done and out the door.
Right.
And, you know, it's like, if you take your time and just linger and enjoy the process, like I hear people say sometimes, yeah, that's fine. You probably turn out some good work that way. But how much are you going to get done? You know, it's
right.
You know, I'm like, I know that this opinion of mine probably rankles some people, but I think volume matters. The more work you do, the better you get.
Oh yeah.
And the better you get, the more work you get to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why there's this cycle that I feel like I've gotten on through the years. It's like I said, the more you do, the better you get. The better you get, the more opportunity you should have to do more.
Right.
You know, and that's a thing that I stay very focused on. So, you know, and with that in mind, like pretty much every project, I'm super happy when it's done. Doesn't mean I didn't enjoy doing it, but I'm always glad to get it behind me. You know, that's always a thing, because on the other side of any project, I will have learned things. I will have gotten better, and I'm always eager to see how much better I'm going to be after this book's done, after this book's done, after, so like I know that since Apocalypse Girl, which was really my first work in comics after being away from comics for, God, 15, 20 years, like I know that by the end of Apocalypse Girl, I was way better than I was at the beginning of it. By the end of Homestead, I was way better than I was at the beginning of Apocalypse Girl. By the end of Brides, I was way better than I was, at the beginning of things. After each issue of Oz, I look back and I'm like, well, we've leveled up to here, so that I enjoy being able to look and see the leveling up. So, that's an important part of it.
Totally.
Yeah, that means Kremen's going to be really awesome.
Well, that's the cool thing about watching you do this for the last 64 weeks is I do get to watch you progress in different things. Man. It's all
funny
amazing.
to me. Like I can look along the way, and I can catch myself. One of the things, like when I'm sitting here right now, kind of going back over stuff, erasing things out and all that. Like I'm catching myself do things that, it's actually the hard part of doing this while I'm talking is that when I'm talking, old habits come back, old ways of doing things come back because that's more natural to let come out. But then I catch myself and I'm like, oh, you're drawing that the way you did 10 years ago. Don't do that. You need to change. You need to move forward, keep these things in mind. And, that's actually a really important thing. So that's the hardest part of drawing live every week, is remembering that, oh, wait, I've got, certain things that I need to keep in mind. So it's all kind of funky. But anywho, yeah, this one I'll probably do some work on this, through the week because this is a fun piece for me. Just something I was like, oh, let's do something of the Witch and the Lion together. So I may pull this one back out next week, and or I may refine it a bit during the week. I don't know. We'll see. This will probably come back because I went into this one with a lot less focus than I normally do, so it's kind of getting a chance to meander, which is actually not what I like to do normally. But if I'm drawing while I'm talking, I will tend to meander like that.
Huh.
So that and doing it without something that I do a lot is I draw with reference. I will frequently pull together all kinds of different photographs or use mannequins or all kinds of reference. These days I am way, way, way more devoted to using reference because just if I'm working from reference on things, or if I sometimes I might take photographs of people I know and store those away to use as reference, or when I see something, I clip things all the time that are just good reference. Sometimes I will use 3D models that I go ahead and light, and will use that as reference so that I know I've got really good reference for my lighting, my forms and all that. So, I vastly prefer doing that to drawing without reference anymore, just because the end quality of what I turn out is so much better. So So, anywho, yeah, I'll probably go back, and I'm sure I can find some good references to look to help me square away some of the little things that I'm irritated with and what I've drawn here. And probably next week we'll take a look at this again and revisit this, and see where we land with it. So
that's
I
cool.
think we're past the 1 o'clock hour, so
Really,
I'm gonna call this a wrap for today.
Is it went really fast? I mean, wow. By the way, Pops.
That's because it's probably because I've been yammering nonstop.
No. Real quick, Pops. Go to commercial. Wait, did he have? Is he on the toilet again?
I just sat here laughing.
He's probably.
I just sat here laughing.
I figured he's probably.
He's probably watching.
I thought you were just busy getting messages in your DMs.
I was just sitting here listening. That was funny.
Yeah. Hey, Pops, go to commercial.
Yeah.
Peace.
In the heart of a major city, in a place raised to honor Earth's past protectors, the world will again learn, sometimes, superpowered intrigue doesn't stop at the grave. Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 1, beginning crowdfunding Memorial Day 2025.